Hi, it's Lee, and welcome to a tour of my island Indiglow, which is a fairycore and kidcore combined island with the main color scheme of blue and yellow. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed from the restart video of this island. I really wasn't expecting any of that at all, and I welcome everyone new to this channel. I hope that y'all also enjoyed the long plays I uploaded with the island updates, and now we are finally here at the finish line. It's been almost 2 months since I first restarted my island, but it's been a really fun and stressful journey. This was also the island where I experienced the 3.0 update for the first time, and I will be showing y'all my completed hotel at the very end. If you would like to see me decorate my next island, then feel free to follow me on Twitch. I already have plans for my next island theme, so make sure to tune in on the streams or watch the VODs if you'd like. And with that, let's take a look at the map. For anyone interested in visiting this island themselves, the DA is at the bottom of the screen. If you are visiting this island on the Switch One, I am truly sorry for the amount of lag you will experience. Anyway, looking at the map, y'all can see the little dots all around the island because I decided to use coconuts on the mainland as well. The last time I did that was for my Philippines-inspired island Coral, which I did about a year and a half ago. I also tried to do a lot of terraforming for this island, and thus there are plenty of cliffs and sunken areas. I kinda wish I did more waterscaping, but honestly I'm pretty satisfied with the map as a whole. As for our villagers, I tried to stick with our color scheme of blue and yellow, so we have Bluebear, Cube, Joey, Pate, Tammy, Sherb, Marshal, Ione, Sasha, and Daisy. And with that, shall we get started with the tour? And here is the entrance. So for this area, we have a magical flower field with glowing moss boulders and star fragments scattered all around. I also incorporated some silent princesses here, and I thought they fit very well with the vibes of this build. I wanted to keep it relatively flat and open, so I didn't include any cliffs or big trees in the frame. We also have Sasha's house in the back right, which fits perfectly with the build. Now let's take a closer look. As you can see, I spread around some butterfly models and glowing moss to enhance the fairycore theme. Y'all are also free to walk around in the flower field to get a closer look at the decorations, but for the purposes of this tour, I will remain mostly on the path. So over here, we have Sasha's house. I honestly kept his yard relatively simple because he's right next to the flower field, and I gave him a small seating area on the left with some filler decorations on the right. Now before we continue to the right side, let's actually go back and explore the left side of the island first. So walking over here, we have one path that leads us to the butterfly pond area. Extending the theme of butterflies, I decided to make this area butterfly related as well. Here I started to introduce the bubble machines in the back just to add more of the kidcore elements, since everything that we have seen so far leads into more of the fairycore theme. Climbing this ladder here, we can get a really pretty view of this entire area. Honestly, this is one of my favorite builds of the island because I love all the trees in the background, and those tall decorations really make a nice backdrop. The bubbles in the background add a nice touch as well. Then coming back down and walking this way, we see our first decorated beach. I normally don't decorate my beaches because I'm so lazy, but I wanted to have something going on in them for this island. For some reason, I decided to fill up every single time on the beaches, like literally there's something wrong with me. Anyway, for this beach in particular, I didn't do anything too special, so this is just filled up with natural items. Over here on the peninsula, we have a glowing moss pond, and up here is another decorated beach. This area is actually the very first beach I decorated on this island because I wanted to have this space full for the viewpoint, and I'm honestly really pleased with this decision. Walking along the path, we have more natural filler decorations as we get closer to the museum area. I wanted to extend the butterfly theme even further for this area, so I created a butterfly research center to tie in the very educational and formal vibes the museum brings. From here, we can get a decent frame of the area, and we can get a good glimpse of the fillers on the cliff. Do y'all see that hidden dreamy unicorn toy in the back? Okay, intentional placement. Anyway, on the beach, we just have a small seating area where the researchers can take a break and have something to eat. Heading towards this incline to the right, we come across a land bridge transition area that houses our very first sunken area of the island. Here we have a very aquatic build with the duck and penguin neighborhood where Pate, Joey, and Cube reside. This was the area I did for the very first long play of this island, and I made sure to fill up the backdrop in one of my last streams. For this build in particular, I wanted to make it feel really tropical, so I only included coconut trees in the sunken part and laid down the cute water coat all around. Now, let's take a closer look. So all around the area, we have some ducks and penguins just hanging around. I was honestly so happy that I was able to find this custom design for the blue penguins because they honestly go very well with our theme and fit the area perfectly. Once again, we have more bubble machines, and if y'all aren't already using them on your islands, y'all are definitely missing out. Anyway, before we cross this bridge, let's head back down this ramp to Sasha's house once again. Simply following the path and coming down here, we can actually get a good view of the houses in this area. So in this frame, we have my house in between Sasha's and Marshal's houses because they are both my favorite villagers in this game. Honestly, before I would have said that Marshal was my ultimate favorite, but because of this island, Sasha definitely lessened the gap between them. I also included the Festivali balloons in the background because they add a nice touch to the frame. Coming back down to the second tier cliff and walking to the right, we can actually get another angle of the dessert neighborhood down below. Over here by the river, we see a cute plushie picnic. Fun fact, they actually got their food from the cafe inside my house. Also, don't tell the bear, but the rabbit plushies are actually gossiping about him. Now, let's cross the bridge to the dessert neighborhood. As the name suggests, I combined the glowing moss boulders and stools to create gumdrops and spread these soft serve lamps all around the area. And now, let's take a look inside the house. So for the main room, I created this waiting room lounge space so patrons of the cafe can hang out and chill as they wait to get seated. This layout was actually inspired by the main room of my first island, Matchaland. Now, in the back of the room, we have plenty of books and magazines for guests to enjoy while being cozy on the floor. I also incorporated the suitcase and circle cushions as they are my favorite hotel exclusive items. Downstairs, we have the main event for this home, which is the dessert cafe. As you can see, the cafe is packed with plushies wanting to satisfy their sweet tooth. Unfortunately, this cafe can only seat 8 people at a time, so it can get full pretty easily. Over on the left side, we have the kitchen area with invisible workers preparing the orders, and an all-you-can-eat ice cream bar for the guests to enjoy. Going upstairs, we have my bedroom, which is currently occupied by a bunch of animals. I honestly wanted to give up with this room because at this point, I just wanted to be done with this island. Anyway, this chaotic idea was actually requested by my chat on stream, so blame them if you think this is ugly, okay? The important thing is that we have a bed where we can still dream. Coming back outside, we see Marshal's house on the right. He is responsible for producing the island sugar resource and so owns a big gumdrop farm. Coming over here to the left, we can see the plushie picnic once again. And coming up this ramp, we can get a really nice view of the farm. As characteristic of a farm, we have some windmills churning in the background, some shovels, watering cans, and hand carts scattered all around the area. And now, we are actually in the mushroom forest. I actually love putting these plushies and star fragments on top of the blue mushroom platforms, so I did that all around the area. Coming over here, we actually head on over to a nice viewing platform for the campsite and the arts and crafts workshop happening in the area. This is actually another one of my favorite builds of this entire island. I love how detailed and full the area is, and this really makes me appreciate how good blue and yellow are as a color combo. Once again, I had to include the bubble machines in this area because they fit so well with the arts and crafts moment. Now, let's take a closer look at the build. As you can see, we have 3 tables here to the right. Besides having scrapbooks, clay models, and art supplies on their tables, I also made sure to give them some snacks so that they wouldn't feel hungry while working on their projects. We also have a smaller table here on the left and the campsite tent in the back. As for my campsite villager, I decided to invite Minaru since she is the 3.0 villager that I want for my next island. Who are y'all's favorite new villagers that were just introduced for 3.0? Honestly though, I feel like Minaru is the most popular one for sure. Now, going up the ramp, we are heading to another land bridge moment, and here is Ione's very magical celestial garden. This is by far the most mystical area of the entire island, and it was only fitting that I include the rock garden here as well. Furthermore, I made sure to spread around the lily of the valley flowers to enhance that idea. Unfortunately, Ione has no way to ever climb up from this area, but we can at least check out the build by climbing down these ladders. As you can see, I just spread around the fairy grass path in this area because it creates the illusion of a magical meadow. Coming over to the beach, I made sure to extend the celestial theme with this tiny build here. And squeezing past the decorations, we actually got a glimpse of what's to come for the bear neighborhood up on the cliffs. As you can see, we just have a few bears chilling on the beach, and once again, I just used a lot of natural decorations that we see all around the island to fill up the beaches. Anyway, let's head back to the land bridge and continue exploring the rest of the island. Coming down this ramp, we actually have a small transitional area with some frogs chilling in the ponds. Coming down this ramp is Daisy's mom and tulip garden. To bring in more of the kidcore vibes, I decided to mix the garden up by using the mum cushions and the tulip surprise boxes in addition to the actual flowers. Then over here to the back, Daisy has a little garden shed and shop. Going back up the ramp, we can actually get a good frame of this entire area with Able Sisters in the background. I actually really love this view because of the layered effect with the buildings, as Daisy's house is in the sunken area and Able Sisters is up top. This island also made me like the tank item as I tried to use it every chance I could. Also, don't mind the random lighthouses here, I just wanted to have more tall items for the frame. Over to the left is just more villa decorations, and crossing the bridge leads us back to the duck and penguin neighborhood, so let's run back to the other land bridge moment again to explore the next major build. Walking past the gazebo, we head over to the bear neighborhood, which is one of my favorite builds of the island. We actually have a bear pond in the middle, and I actually found the shape of the pond on Google but decided to add the face to make it look more like a bear. As you can see, it has very bushy eyebrows. In the back, we also have a small campsite for the bears to hang out by the pond. Now let's take a closer look at the villager homes in this area. To the right, we approach Tammy's house. In the front, there are actually some bears just hanging around and having a little gathering. Tammy actually owns a small ice cream shop, and a lot of the bears in this neighborhood enjoy coming here and getting some refreshing desserts. And to the left, we have Bluebear's house, and she lives right next to the bear park and playground. Standing over here, we can get a good look at the entire area with a pot pond. Fun fact, I actually inverted the shapes of the top two pond sections just so I could fit that coconut tree in the center. Anything for trees, you know what I'm saying? Walking past these filler decorations and heading to the left leads us to another transitional area. Here I started including these fairy circles with the Papa Bears in the middle. Following this path down actually leads us to the Able Sisters. Now unfortunately I didn't really get to do anything too special for this building because its sole purpose was to look good from the viewpoint by Daisy's area. Anyway, let's head back up and cross the bridge to Sherb's home. Now Sherb's house was actually the last one I placed on this island, and unfortunately I just ran out of space to give him a nicer build, so he is just in the middle of this transitional area. Still, I think this area turned out really nicely. I really wanted this area to have more of a magical feeling, so I included more fairy circles here as well. Now going down the ramp, we are actually heading to Nook's Cranny. Now for this area, I built a little party celebration moment since Nook's Cranny typically reminds me of a mall, and usually my family likes to go out to eat at restaurants for birthdays, and thus we have a celebration area with gyroids. Honestly, I typically forget to put gyroids on my island, so this was a nice excuse to finally spread them around in a dedicated area. Coming over to the beach, I added one more party table. And down here, I added more natural items towards the bottom. Make sure to go all the way so you can see these hidden froggies. Now who would I be if I didn't include a viewpoint for Nook's Cranny? So let's run over to that spot. And here is the frame. I am actually really glad that I committed to using these elephant toys in the background because they fit so well with this area. Similarly, I spread around the Festivali balloons to enhance the party vibes. Now walking around here is just some more filler areas, and following this path leads us back to the duck and penguin neighborhood. So with that, we have actually explored every inch of Indiglow. Now before we end, I want to quickly show y'all my hotel interiors. It was honestly so much fun trying to decorate each room according to the theme, since it gave me a chance to use items that I typically don't use, but I will admit it gave me some burnout by the end. And that's pretty much it for the tour. I hope you all enjoyed this island. It was honestly so much fun building this island because it was very satisfying seeing all the yellow and blue combined. These two colors work so well together, and it was especially fun working with two of my favorite themes. If y'all are seeing this early, be sure to follow me on Twitch if y'all are interested in seeing me work on my next island. I will be posting a video in the near future of me decorating a summer island with my next theme, so subscribe if you are interested. Thank you again to everyone who has supported me thus far. before. I really was not expecting the restart video for this island to blow up the way that it did, and I hope that everyone who was excited for this island is really pleased with the result. Let me know what your favorite build of the island was. I look forward to reading all of your comments. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see y'all in the next one.